Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Realm of Ori. In this video, we will continue with Volume 15, Chapter 4, The 8 Gates, Part 4. And before we start, this video contains spoilers from the Tensura Light Novel. And by the way guys, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon to get notifications for upcoming videos. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Cut him up and beat him to death, and then deliver it to Agera. In Esprit's mind, Carrera's voice echoed. That's exactly what Benimaru-sama is pleading with you to do. Get it straight and don't fail. Hey Agera, aren't Lord Carrera and the others pretty enraged? We're in for a rough time if we don't get rid of him now. Why would Lord Carrera be aware of this side? Even if there are some doubts, you simply give up. I should be more aware of this, and since we masters have been insulted, we must retaliate appropriately. You guys, you're pissed off too. Esprit sighed, noting that the ordinarily calm Agera was also enraged. There's no stopping it now, so let's just call it a good chance. It is the correct response if Agera displays his genuine talent and observes it carefully. Garcia, on the other hand, yelled out, oblivious to the scene's mood, "Give up and die, you pathetic." Don't worry, your masters will be cleaned up eventually, and you'll be able to serve them just like this under the 9 springs. This passage from Garcia was, of course, passed on to Carrera via Esprit. Carrera isn't the only one who learns about it this time, and it appears like the entire crew is sharing it via thought communication. This bastard is full of. What the hell is Agera doing? Didn't you tell him to get rid of this jerk? Do you think you're underestimating me? Hey, don't embarrass me. Shion isn't here, which is a good thing. Our preparations would be ruined if that guy showed up. That is correct. I'll do it for you if it doesn't work. Please hurry quickly. Agera continues to show no symptoms of striking out, focusing instead on avoiding it. Agera will not lose as long as no one is killed, yet there is no sense in not winning. Then Esprit must utilize magic to figure things out, although this is done in a less realistic manner. Garcia had been confirmed to have a high amount of patience for magic after several previous efforts. What's the matter? Only to run away. Garcia is a ruthless individual. Despite this, Agera does not appear to be fighting back. Hey Agera, it's not good at all. Lord Carrera will be furious if we don't hurry. Esprit, who was normally elusive, was also nervous, but Agera remained silent. Incidentally, Zonda stayed a long way away and started making tea, as if he planned to entertain his subordinates after he left, which Esprit thought was foolishness. Hey, Zonda, when I'm not looking, what are you guys up to? Take a look and you'll see what I mean. Master Agera is unscathed. He's really free. Don't be ridiculous. Why am I the only one has to be pressured by your lordships? Who cares? Slaughter this guy, Esprit said, her teeth clenched in regret. Even though Zonda was merely a viscount, he had no fear of the Earl-level Esprit. Esprit didn't want to think about it any longer. We'll just have to let Agera cheer properly since the Zonda group isn't going to be of any use. Agera was undoubtedly enraged. He had to have had a purpose for not assaulting, and if it was for the sake of finding an opportunity, one can only hope. Agera, on the other hand, said something quite terrible at this point. I'll tell you one thing, Esprit, that I understand. What exactly is it? It appears that even the power of old age is insufficient to overcome this man. Huh? What the hell is going on? It's nothing, it's just a simple thing. This man wrapped aura around his entire body, substantially increasing not only his attacking but also his defense capability. So I've learnt one thing. No matter how hard I swing my sword at him, I can't cut him. Garcia's defense had reached a level comparable to that of the mythical level after combining the effect of the Crusade to Overlord, one of the powers of the power of substitute, with the defensive power of the legendary armor, and Agera, who had seen through this, realized that his sword could not do effective damage. Is that why my magic failed as well? Exactly. What he's doing isn't a huge issue, but it's meaningless if he can't get wounded. Esprit could only frown and nod in agreement when it came to Agera's crucial remark. If they didn't win, they'd have to tell Carrera the truth, but just a handful of them would be disgraced. By seeing Garcia, Esprit realized that he was not very proficient in practical combat even without being enlightened by Agera. Haha, I presume you've finally seen the difference in strength and have decided to give up. Even though the fact that the gun didn't hit was infuriating, it didn't matter that he was so thoughtful. After all, it was Garcia's job to slow down the enemy here. Victory was within reach by the time the enemy was exhausted. Even if they didn't have to wait till then, the companions guarding the other gates would rush to their aid after the enemy had been defeated. That's why Garcia was able to relax and enjoy the battle. Esprit smacks her lips as she stares at Garcia like, way. Even though you know about it, you're still going to challenge that Kondo guy, right? Isn't it because there are winning strategies? Agera smiled as he heard this. There is, of course. In the secret plot of the ages, your help is essential. You tell me. In fact, Agera's ruse included getting Esprit to say something like that. The lively Esprit has a bright side, too, and Agera would never have answered yes if the question had been asked in a conventional way. The demoness adores spring and enjoys seeing her partner's faces of distress when they are in danger, therefore Agera, who is fully aware of this, chooses to put spring in a precarious situation. That said, if you upset Lord Carrera, you could have to purge me as well. Agera was ecstatic to have won the large wager. Before Esprit's mood changes, tell her about your hidden plan. The only way to defeat the opponent is to turn the power of will into a blade. I'm afraid Agera will not be coming Garcia. The man's intention to shoot for the armor's gap was blocked by an aura that engulfed his entire body. Agera was able to easily overtake Garcia based on the appearance of his hands, but he was unable to deliver an effective attack on Garcia. As a result, Agera would need to reach that level as well. Listen to the sword sound and you will become one with it. If you grasp this concept and rise to the top of your game. Agera clenched his fists around his innate sword and listened to the sound it made. As a result, he came to a decision. It appears that our willpower alone will not be enough to break through that man's armor. Esprit, have faith in this old man. Your talent may not be as great as Carrera-sama, but you possess excellent skills. Despite your dislike of swords, the foundation is excellent, which is why I am confident enough to hand it to you. Can you tell me what you're talking about? Place your hand on my back and I'll let you handle it. Esprit was somewhat overwhelmed by Agera's meaning, yet he opted to trust her regardless. Agera took a firm stance. Esprit did what Agera said and placed her hand on Agera's back. Have you finally given up? So, I'll let you off the hook now. Lord Velgren should also almost slay your owner, Rimuru the Demon Lord. I should be content to be able to convey your master to the Yellow Springs Road as an inferior demonic monster of last resort. How could you disrespect our ruler? And you're saying it's almost time for you to die? The subordinates' auras changed as a result of the words sent through Esprit. Only Agera and Esprit had been the first to test their endurance. Alright, you guys. When I'm insulted, I can hold back and give praise, but if I continue to be rational right now, I'm going to kill that guy. Esprit, try to control my strength. I have no idea what's going on, but if it's up to me, I'm going to rip that jerk to pieces. Agera pushes consciousness to its extremes in order to interact with the blade, releasing a powerful force. Allow me to fulfill your request. Sharpening the mind, body, and heart. He seemed to hear a lovely music, but he doesn't know if it's true. That authority, however, belonged to Agera. I am a blade, an immortal weapon capable of annihilating the enemy. A gold-colored dagger emerged in Esprit's hand as Agera yelled. It gave the blade change, which was Agera's newfound power. The impact is simple. Agera's body transforms into a blade, and the talents he has mastered are attached to the blade's holder. However, if the owner is already powerful, the impact will be enormous. Esprit drew her knife with a smooth, natural motion. Yawa Shining, the ultimate mystic of the Mizushin lifestream, is the name of this move. You are dead piece of Garcia couldn't see it and couldn't comprehend it. What happened just now? Garcia's armor was shattered like a thin sheet of paper, and his body was hacked apart. He was killed in a flash, with no time to consider. Esprit carries a corporeal soul in her hand that resembles a little carnelian. Well, he's a redhead. It's ideal for him. He simply has no idea what's going on. When Esprit muttered something, Agera, who had reverted to his human shape, looked at it with disgust in a bitter tone. Tell me where in the universe a martial artist can keep mute while his master is insulted? Unfortunately, it was my responsibility to correct you, but I didn't expect you to become upset over the words of such a small person. Forget it. I can't help myself. This is an insult to Lord Rimuru. It was even permitted by Lord Carrera. You don't mind. Let's just assume that's the way things are. Although not all memories were recovered, Agera's heart was once again filled with the sword's intense will, which was previously the ultimate pursuit. Agera, on the other hand, faithfully recreates the sword skills of the time. Everything is contained in the Mizushin life stream, the highest sword technique of exorcism. Agera, who used to be human, thought his soul was trapped in the sword. The metamorphosis of itself into a blade reawakened the recollections of the past. That's when Agera realized why he was dressed as a samurai for the first time. He was a samurai in the distant past, before this world was reincarnated as a monster. This old man's name used to be Araki Bukuya. Well, the startling appearance of a dead human has just added to the confusion. The image of Hakuro came over his mind. His disciples were well trained, and they inherited the Mizuru school. Agera modified the name since he didn't think the word heart destiny suited with magic, and the memory came back to him. Isn't fate to known after I was named by Lord Rimuru? As a result, there's no way I'm going to show there. In this world, he married and had a daughter with the Big Ogre clan, and when the daughter was older, she gave birth to a son named Hakuro. And there are many people who Hakuro cultivated and raised in this day and age. The most important of these people is the Lord of Agera, Rimuru. Hakuro, of course, is the one who taught Rimuru. Agera considered this and shifted his focus for a minute. He was no longer interested in the waste that had just been disposed of. He turned around and went back to the lord he was now serving, Carrera.